Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
You mind introducing yourself?
My name Anthony Mathis.
Yes, sir.
My nonprofit called WakeUp.org.
Yes, sir.
Trying to help out the youth, from gang violence and just teach them really what's going on in the United States and education-wise, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Kelly on the drum.
So how did you get started having a whole nonprofit? Because that's not, like we were saying off camera, a lot of people start one, but it ain't a real nonprofit, whereas yours is legitimate.
Yes, well, I really started, after I got out the streets, be honest with you. Like, it was just so much wrong going on in our community, man, and I just feel like, man, we got to help our youth out. So the best way we can help our youth out is teach them what we went through and teach them more. So, yeah, that's why I started my nonprofit.
Okay, and when did you officially start it?
2001, I started it. I had to rebrand it after this shit right here because I feel like I wanted them to have a better example or make it better for them, like really concentrate on what's going on in the community and why this happening and why they killing each other and different things like that. So I had to rebrand like all last year. I just stopped. Well, that summertime I just stopped and just really did my homework on like why kids doing this. You see what I'm saying? Like what was the problem and why education system wrong and I'm not saying we don't care in our community, but exactly why do we let the things happen in our community that happen that we can stop? So basically, I just looked in the mirror at myself and then, just focus on exactly like what's going on, like tell the truth, like everything got a cause and effect. And people got to understand that a lot of cause and effect is happening in our own community is by us. So we got to start looking in the mirror.
Okay. And where does that motivation come from? Because you said from your background, but a lot of people don't think, because we have it in different communities where people come from the streets and they do try to make an impact. So what drove your passion?
Yeah, that and just to save the kids, man. You get tired of seeing kids die. You see what I'm saying? Like that, it might, if you really care about your own people and your own community, then it really hurts you, regardless if you know them or not. You see them? And so yeah, that's what I wanted. Like stop, like hold on, young generation. Like look, y'all going in the wrong direction. Everybody else going right and you going left. So, so yeah, we got to come back right. We got to come back and understand and teach our youth to understand. Like, look, this was going on. So that's what I've been doing.
Okay, and so you obviously you have kids yourself.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Did that help motivate it as well?
I can say it helped motivate it, but not it helped, but not really. Because the simple fact is that as a man, as me myself, I'm gonna be a father.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm not really worried about my kids going in the wrong direction. Because they already got a good foundation. When I'm worried about the kids who don't got a good foundation, how can I reach them? How can I teach them the right way?
Okay.
Not just talking, just, if I want to give them an answer, like when you ask me something, I'm going to tell you what's going on. You might not want to hear it, but it's the truth. So, yeah.
So what are some of the things that your nonprofit actually does specifically for the community?
Right now we did toy drive for the last 3 years.
Okay.
We did a book bag drive for the last 2 years. I had a Boys to Man program over the summer that I went around little different areas. Like I went to Piedmont Mountain, picked up them kids and so like that. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do to actually teach them. But that's one thing that caught my eye. Or really caught me because when I went and tried to teach them, and it's not got nothing to do with them because they don't understand, but guess when I figured out like, wow, our kids don't know what they need to know, or even more scarier that our kids don't care. You see what I'm saying? So that really drove to effect that like, hold on, man. Me and myself, I had to stop and just do my homework. Like, I got to present this better for them, let them understand like what's going on. Like it's more than, we got our culture is more rap culture now.
It is,
you
unfortunately.
See? So, like I was telling you, like, if our kids listening to rap and that's who they're idolizing, and I'm not saying athletes not good, I'm not saying that. If you're a great football player and you be able to make your kids millions of dollars, or your mama millions of dollars, then hey, let's go for it. But one thing that we have done, we don't be into politics no more. You know, we don't analyze doctors. We don't want to be lawyers. We don't want to be police officers, firemen, and stuff like that. You know, so you don't. Even though rap, even if you can rap, I mean, if you know if you can rap, you can, I understand you want to get the bag, but at the same time, we need to follow more about what can help our community. Because if a kid see a doctor, if a kid grow up like, hey, I went to school with him, he a doctor now. Then you got other kids want to be doctors or surgeons or stuff like that. Like it's more, try to teach our young generation, it's more than being rappers and athletes.
It is, I agree.
You see what I'm saying? And if you own, you know, you can drive trucks and like this, because I mentor also at Burns High School. And so I taught the kids that I mentor at Burns High School. And I got a kid that want to be a truck driver. I said, look, not just be a truck driver, learn how to get you 3 or 4 trucks so you can employ people. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm on, man. I'm on like really black empowerment. Like I had to take a step back, because at first I was just head in, like I'm going, I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna do this, we gonna be all good. Then I had to figure like, I you know, hit like a whoa, like our community don't care. Like, I mean, they don't, I ain't gonna say they don't care, they don't understand. You know, and the things that we'd have been through from the past, you know, the reason why they don't understand, we caught up in a matrix. You know what I'm saying? We caught up in something that really don't matter, especially in our poverty communities, like in the hoods and I guess what they say, ghettos and whatnot like that. They caught up in it, but I be wanting to tell them like, look, man, you ain't got to be like this. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even in low income places, your community can still be just like the suburbs if you take care of it.
So how do we do that though? Because I agree with you as far as we being an entertainer, a rapper, athlete, that looks cool. Being a doctor don't look cool.
No, it don't look cool, but in the long run, it benefits you more. Because how many rappers do we know in the 90s and in the early 2000s that broke?
Broke his ass.
You know what I'm saying? Or you don't even remember, no, it's only a small fraction. And it's even worse now, because these young boys who rapping these days, I mean, half of them on drugs. Matter of fact, I was watching this a podcast called DJU.
Yes, sir.
And he had these rappers from Chicago and a couple other places. And I'm looking at them, these kids so drugged out. There's one of the dudes that fell asleep on the couch, like off with lean and Percocets and all that. So you like, nah, man. Nah, and then you don't think you're promoting violence. Like, and people don't understand us. And in our community, we the only ones, if you go listen any other race, we the only one talk about kill each other.
Yeah, I mean, in country and
you don't hear that in country or no other type of, you know what I'm saying? So we preach violence amongst each other. And then also on that point, you can't get mad when another race of people looking at you funny. Because they say all thing you want to do is kill each other. You like, nah, but shoot, the rap, what you listening to?
Yeah. But how do we meet the younger generation in the middle? Because they speak a different language than we do.
Yeah, well, you have to keep your ears to the street. Like, I try to, myself, even though I'm out the streets, I try to keep my eyes, my ears and stuff in the streets. Like, you know, like what, because they help me too with my sons, even though they're not in the streets, but what kind of music you listening to? Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, son, like what's going on is going, you know, they'll tell me. And then also, you know, you can look, and if you go to the community, you can see. So it's basically not, I guess, trying to meet them halfway. It's more try to educate them. Like, they got it. First of all, they got the want to learn. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I had to re-innovate what I was doing, because you can talk to, like they say, or you talk to a man, save one kid. What one kid gonna do?
But is it worth it to save at least one if you can't reach the others?
I'll put it this way. You save one kid, right? The white community, Asian community, Latino communities, different other communities, if they save 100, what do they count? Yeah. See, and that's what we not looking at. We can save one kid. Ain't we trying to catch up? Because we so far behind. Yeah. So saving one kid is not really going to affect a lot.
It's not going to have an effect on the whole.
Yeah, on the whole. The whole community anyway. Or with what we trying to accomplish. You see? So if I say one kid, and it's good to say so. Anybody who I'm
Right,
not
I know
saying,
but don't somebody watching and take it the wrong way.
Yeah, don't take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Do what you do. If you could save one kid, that's great.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that that's not great. Any kid you can save to make themselves better is great. But I'm saying we got to start focus more on how can we save more than one kid at one time.
How do we do that?
Well, me personally, this is what I'm saying what's going on now, how I'm figuring what's going on is that if you got, and anybody know you got 4 or 5 kids that's in the projects, they're actually doing something.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
They're trying to get out, yeah.
They trying to get out. Well, reach them 4 or 5 kids. If you go to, let's say, Fleetwood Manor, and you got 5 kids in there that's good, and you can pick them up. You go to Piedmont Manor, you get 5 out of there. You go to Nickeltown, you can get 5 out of there. That's 15 kids right there.
Not just one.
They're just not one.
Yeah.
So you got to think about all these different communities around Greenville. So you might pick up 20, 25 kids. Now you done reach 20, 25 kids. Now if you keep them doing what they supposed to do, you know, for talking to their parents, and because you know a lot of young ladies need help. You know what I'm saying? Talking to them and show them like, look, I'm here for if you do this, we're gonna help you with this, and build them all the way up. And until they graduate, and even tell them like, this is a long game. This is not a short term. Like I tell my son, like my son don't know about graduating high school. Like we don't talk about graduating high school. He finished school when he graduated college.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the mentality we have. I don't care about high school.
Right.
So if you get the same mentality to them, you done reach 25 kids, so you got 25 black kids that you know that went to college. Now you do that every year.
Okay, so how do you distinguish those 4 or 5 that want something better from the rest of the kids?
Well, that's when you have to go into the community and talk to them. Like they gonna stand out.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Or what we gonna start doing ourselves is like, you know, go to the community and find out which kids what. Not saying we're trying to lead the rest of the kids. We're not. You see what I'm saying? Like we not trying to lead them at all.
Right.
Hopefully, when they figure out what these 5 kids doing, they want to do the same thing they doing. So that's about going into community, talking, or having little meetings inside your community, stuff like that. And then you can pick which ones out. Like when we did the Boys to Man program, we had about 30 kids, but I knew just talking to them, I know 2 on. I said, okay, them 2 right there listening. Because once you're talking to them, they like this.
Instead of they looking around.
Now they ain't looking around. You ain't gotta tell them to be quiet. They ain't talking about when we gonna eat and when can we play.
Right.
Nah, they actually listening. So I get them 2.
Okay.
So next time we're gonna pick them 2 up and go to another neighborhood, do the same thing. Okay, them 3 right there, you see them, they own it. Okay, they wanna learn something. And get them, that's 5 on. Keep doing that. Then once you get you another class, okay, this is the one we're gonna pick up. Write their names down, talk to their parents, or talk to their moms, or let them know what's going on, and then we're gonna run from there.
Okay, so with the Boys Men program, what kind of cool things do y'all get to do?
Really, I'm not gonna say it's cool. It's more educated wise. Like we talk to them about politics. I talk to them about politics because I'm big in politics. Talk to them about black history, like your real black history. You know, like Dr. Van Nuys Sineman, Mr. Johnson, people like that who actually paved the way that a lot of us done forgot about.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so I teach them not just a black American history. No, I'm teaching you black history. That means you're gonna learn stuff from Africa first. Okay. So I want you to learn about Taharka in the 25th dynasty. I want you to learn about the Nubians and you know, just different powerful black leaders, so you can know for your fact that it was more than me just being a slave. Like they're just on the part of your history. That's on the 400 years of your history. Right. You got over 1,500 years just African history alone, from Egypt, from Nubia, from the Mali Empire, from Timbuktu. Like these places are actually real places, so you can learn like this what you're supposed to do. Like you want to learn how to math, like you started math, so you should want to do math. You started reading, you started languages, you started writing. You see what I'm saying? So don't let the Euro, and when I say Europeans, I'm not trying to diss white people, nothing like that, but don't just let Europeans think that this is where it started from. Because if you look at the history in the United States. So when they teach you history in the United States, the first thing they teach our kids is what? Slavery.
Of course.
Okay, then after that, they're gonna teach you Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, and maybe 2 others.
Right.
So your history, all the history that you got, all these thousands of years of history that you got, you know about 5 people.
So I agree with you. I got 2 questions. How did you learn all of this history? Because I don't know all that history. And then why do you think, I have an answer for it, but I want to ask you, why do you think they only teach us that small segment of our history?
Well, it's kind of hard to tell you that you was dumb and you didn't know nothing, and we taught you everything if you know your history.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I can't teach. So that's all was planned. You know, so
programming.
Yeah, that's a program. So they programming you good because nowadays the time kids don't even care about their history like that. So yeah, like they programming you to do that. They want you to do that but have low self-esteem. They don't want you to know what's this and what's that and what's the other. And that's why nowadays in politics, even DeSantis in Florida, the governor of Florida, he trying to cut out black history in the history books and all this.
Is that the critical race theory?
Yeah, it's like, so it's, you know, and that itself is crazy. But then what what's about it, I don't hear Florida, the African American people in Florida, I mean, you hear a little noise, but y'all should be, come on, man. You should be protesting at governor's office and everything. Like, you know, so yeah. Like, cause they can do it there, they're gonna do it everywhere. And the only reason why I believe that they doing it because now they know they got us to where they want us at. Because once the younger generation, the older generation, my mom, even us, or our grandmothers, they still had that rich thinking about our history, pride about ourselves. This generation don't have that kind of pride about ourselves.
Well, why is that though?
Well,
is it because of not just the entertainers and music, but is it that we don't have the same role models? Or?
Yeah, role models, that's one. Role model, education. See, you gotta think about this. Our generation, what really messed it up, and like people don't like to do the homework about it. Okay, I'm gonna put it this way. In 1965, we had the civil rights.
Yes, sir.
That's when the civil rights got signed, right?
Right.
Okay, up until then, we had no rights. You know, we couldn't do that. So education was poor and all. You know, we did the best we could. Now don't think that we wasn't smart because a lot of things that got invented while we didn't have rights that people took from us. Yeah. You see, so it wasn't that they weren't smart, but actually they were smarter now then than they are now. And so we digressed on what was going on. So instead of moving up, we moved back. People don't understand that. Like, what last time you seen a black man invent anything? Think about it.
Off the top of my head, when was the last time a black person invented something?
Last thing a black person invented. Yeah, it shouldn't be no
It really shouldn't, because we know about all the stuff that Mr. Carpenter did.
It shouldn't be no
Yeah? Damn.
Yeah. See, people don't think like that. Like we talk about
like a software app. That's probably
but
that ain't the same thing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like actually invented something that actually for the world. You had ex-slaves. These were ex-slaves that did those and slaves. Yeah. And you can't tell me we got all this stuff going on and we ain't got nobody we can say, oh, he invented this.
Whose fault is that though?
That's our fault.
All as a whole, or the older generation, the current generation?
As a whole.
Okay.
That's our fault. Like, it's time, like, at some point in time, even though, and I understand the things that we did, we caught the short end of the stick. Right. We did. And we still catch the short end of the stick. But you got to think about this. We got way more freedoms and way more education and way more know-how than they did back then. So we have no excuse for what's going on but ourselves.
I agree with that because there's not a lot. I've talked to some people and they're like, well, like you said, we don't get to choose how we start, but we do get to choose
how you finish. Yeah. And so that's what mainly we on now is more of stop blaming people, let's get right. Yeah, you know, just stop blaming people and start blaming us. Like, even though after the 60s, I guess 65 when the civil rights came, okay, that was 100 years from when we got free until 1965. That was like 99 years maybe. a gap till we got our rights. So that's extra 100 more years.
Yes, sir.
But with all that being said, okay, now in drugs. So after the 65, when we got our rights, what happened? Heroin epidemic came.
Yeah, that crack.
That destroyed us in the 70s, right? So that destroyed what generation? That restored our grandmother's generation, or grandma's generation, right after the civil rights.
Right.
Boom,
Which
as soon as
is
civil
crazy.
rights over with, boom, they put heroin in the community.
Yeah.
So that messed us up. Then they dropped the nuclear bomb, I call it crack cocaine.
Yeah.
Crack killed it. Crack was our mother generation and us.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you had to look at the root cause of what happened and what's going on in the community. Folks don't forgot about these things that happen because we not on it no more. You don't have a lot of heroin addicts, black heroin addicts like that.
A lot of them have passed.
Yeah, all the crack smokers and got old, they grandmas now.
Yeah, right.
You know, so we didn't pick up crack because we sold crack.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm
we
saying?
seen what it did.
So we know what it did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But through that, you got to think about this. If our mom was on crack, that mean our grandmothers carried us.
Yeah.
Okay, how much education did our grandmothers have?
Not much at that time, because they ain't really had that much rights as black people or as women.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 20 years. They say 65 to 85 is like 20 years, right? So crack came in like in 85?
Give or take.
Okay, so that's 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah,
We couldn't do nothing on 20 years because we were struggling. Our generation of parents was on crack, so that means they weren't teaching their education. Our grandmas can't teach us education because they had, if they did go to school, it was low it was low because they didn't have the funds to actually educate them the right way. You see what I'm saying? Because the government wasn't giving us funds like that.
Not at all.
They would give, so we had a separate, we were separate, so you had the white schools and the black schools. They giving all the white schools everything, and we getting the scraps.
Right, we getting old textbooks.
But even though we did that, we had the know-how, and that generation had the grit about them to make it work.
But we have so much access to more now.
Yeah, but you gotta think about this. People don't understand, even though you got access to more, they put more stuff out there to confuse you.
Yeah, we got a whole lot of distractions.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the big problem. Yeah, you got access, but look, what more access you got more negativity access than you got positive access.
Yeah, because just because if I give you the keys to my car, don't mean you're gonna drive it.
Exactly. So now after the crack era came from us, then what they do? Well, I ain't gonna say what they do. The government and our black caucus in the government did. We had to crack down on the crack era. So they threw a whole bunch of our black males in prison for long terms. Now, that was a positive and a negative. I hate to say it that way.
Why positive, why negative?
Because it did help get some of the crack off.
Okay.
But the negative part about it decimated the younger brothers who just say not kingpin. So back then, I think in Detroit, in the 80s, if you got caught with 2 ounces of crack, they get a life sentence like 62 grams or 48 grams, something like that.
Destroyed the family down there.
Yeah, destroyed the family down there. You see what I'm saying? So they're trying to help ourselves, we actually hurt ourselves. But you can't blame them for what they tried to do because they were destroying the community. Like crack, cocaine, and the gangsters were destroying the community. Like you had New Jack City. You remember on New Jack City when the young girl was sitting on there with Chris Rock, and he was talking. She's like, "I used to be the prom queen." He's like, "Nah, you nothing but the prom fiend."
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? So that was happening. You got to think about. You might have had 16, 17-year-old educated kids that actually were doing some crack came and now they still not their mama house, still not their father houses. You see what I'm saying?
We kind of got, I don't know to what level, but now they on pills, so what's the difference?
Yeah, but see, that's another bombshell. Yeah. See, every time we get caught with a bombshell, but it's our fault though.
Yeah.
It's our fault.
It's on you to take it.
It's on you to take it. And even during the crack era, what came out before the crack era? What movie came out that everybody got so crazy about? Scarface.
Oh, yeah.
You can hear drug dealers in the 80s and like AZ. And
half of them, their rap names is based on those.
Yeah, like because I would listen to a documentary, Game Over, when AZ from Harlem.
Yeah. And
he would tell him about like, man, when Scarface came, then right after that crack came, everybody wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So you got to think how two came in hand. That was playing.
So what's causing the pill pandemic now?
Well, Future.
The music, the program.
Yeah, but I hate to say it, but like the first person who rapped about
perks and all that, yeah.
It's Future.
And he said he don't even do all that.
Nah, but see, they don't care. Like, that's another thing about rappers I hate. I ain't gonna say I hate. Well, yeah, I do hate, because simple fact is that you rapping about this stuff. A lot of y'all don't do this stuff, but you got kids out here and grown-ups out here on it. Yeah. So you know the betrayal. It's just like watching a movie. They ain't got no Kingpin movie, so all of it coming out rap. You know, and then I hate for the rappers, and I can understand you want a bag and this and the other, but hey, at some point in time, man, we got to calm that down. And you can't blame it on, like a lot of folks, all you really blame it on Sony and blame it on Def Jam and all these big corporations, but actually these big corporations ain't funding rap no more, because really, be honest with you, you're not really making a lot of money off rap like that no more. It's only certain people. You got so many rap people. Yeah. So majority of this is homegrown, indie labels like CMG, well, you know what I'm saying, like different labels like that, Gucci Mane, them and all them, and they the ones that getting the kids out the hood, give them $200,000 or $300,000, put a chain on their neck, and then send them off. Yeah. So you got, you know what I'm saying? I mean, so that's what's going on. So the music, like I say, W.E.B. Du Bois. And then people who watch it, you need to look this up. Like, he came like with the 10%. He believed that 10% of the higher educated people should teach the lower half of uneducated people. So the 10% of higher black people should teach the 90% of the lower black people. So like, not saying they down or nothing, but that's somebody you bring them up, so you got to look at. Okay, so you had that. So you had the Martin Luther Kings, David W. Du Bois. You know, they looked up to Martin Luther King and all these type of people. So you know, when they killed Martin Luther King and Sam Cooke, Malcolm X, even look at like Muhammad Ali, Sam Cooke, them, they were entertainers, but they were black power. And they stood for something. They stood for something. Yeah. So they, you know, that no, young brother, don't get on the corner, you can do better than this. You see what I'm saying? But nowadays, look at your 10% of people you follow. You follow rappers and athletes. Okay, so you gotta think about this. You following rappers, had the rappers talking about, male rappers talking about popping pills and killing each other, right? So what the young generation doing? They doing it. Okay. At a higher clip, too. At a higher clip. Yeah. Okay, so now you got Sexy Red and Megan Thee Stallion, them talk about WAP and getting busted wide open and all that. So what you think the younger generation doing? That's what they following. Yeah. So that's your biggest problem right there. You don't have enough educated black people or people with the know-how to come reach the youth, and we can't. Even the educate, it's hard. How can we use them? How can we get to them when the rappers and all these other people who negatively got such a bigger platform? You're not gonna listen to me when your favorite rapper on. Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but I mean, I guess, especially if you're in the hood. Yeah, because you're just trying to get out. You just trying to get out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, like, we got to change our train of thought. You know, it's gonna be hard, and you're gonna lose some people. You see what I'm saying? Like the gun violence, like you had different. And now before I say this, any nonprofit that's out there, even in the Greenville area, talk about, you know, stopping gun violence and all that. I credit you. I'm glad you're doing that. We need you. But on the other hand, is this. How much is that stopping? I don't think it's stopping. It don't stop at all. Yeah. That's the same thing I say about the bigger platform. You don't. I mean, it's good. They'll listen to you. You know what I'm saying? Then you can get your little grants and your little people, and the white people come with the news cameras and all this, and you on the news, and you know this. But we haven't came with a plan. That's what I ask you. Well, what do we do though? Because as a community, and I'm not knocking our community, but we do seem to complain about everything, but not really have any plans. Well, the plan to me, and this is gonna be a shocker, but at some point in time, we gotta look ourselves in the mirror. Okay. As a black community as a whole. Okay. Half the black community don't want to change, and that's just what it is. Because they want to change, they'll change. I mean, if you really wanted to change, you would change. You how many kids, and me come from the projects and being in the streets in the hood, I know your kids come home, your kids go back out. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So we ain't preaching no education. Even the young mothers who out here. I mean, I understand you got for say so on your mother. I got to work and all this, and I understand that.
Yeah.
And I salute you, y'all young sisters, you young black women who out here trying to work, taking care of kids without a father and all this. I salute you for that. Yeah. But you got so many of y'all sitting on the couch all day long, and when your kids come on, you take them outside and you bring them back outside.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you don't have no excuse.
Right.
You know, so you just don't care. You can't, if you at home all day long and your kids is failing in school, not doing homework, and none of this stuff like that, or you not reaching out to teachers, then you don't care. And be honest with you, like me personally, I get tired of catering. It's time to, look, we gotta stop catering to people who don't care. It is like, to me, I feel like you get on board or you don't get on board. We'll come back and get you because you our sister. Right. But we can't wait on you.
But okay, so I'm gonna give you a caveat. So whose responsibility? I think it's both. But whose responsibility is it with the homes that are broken? Because I think it's men's responsibility to lead as well.
Yeah, but see, I definitely agree with that. Black males, black men in general, like that's the main part that we got to do. We don't lead anymore. Our black sisters are stronger than us.
Yeah,
you gotta think about this. Don't put the point like this. How many black males have the income or actually feed their kids a month than our sisters do?
Yeah.
Because you look in the projects in the neighborhood, in our hoods, all in the Section 8 houses, majority, probably 95% of them on food stamps, so the government taking care of them.
Yeah.
So just that alone, mans ain't bringing we ain't doing nothing. Like, and that's our fault. Like, first of all, we making 4 or 5 babies. You got different baby mamas and all that. And I know some dudes gonna be, oh yeah, I take care of mine. And that's true, but I'm gonna tell you something, nothing like taking care of your kid when you're in the home.
Yeah.
Because that's different. You might got 4 or 5 kids. You might take care of them for us, buying the clothes and this and the other. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But actually being in the house is a whole different element.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you one, my biggest, and I know folks probably gonna laugh, but I take this man very seriously.
Yes, sir.
You know, who really taught me how to be a father and understand how important it is to be in a black home, Bill Cosby, The Cosby Show.
I mean, that was a great example.
And my wife can tell you, like, I do stuff, she ain't like, why you do it? Because I seen it on Bill Cosby.
Regardless of what he did now, but that was still a good example.
And you know what, though? How many TV episodes or how many TV shows do we have like that now?
I'm trying to think.
You don't? I know. Every time you say you're trying to think, that means it's like...
it used to be like Family Matters back in the day. Not
you had Black Positive Family. Yeah. Nowadays, and then you got...
Blackish. Blackish is a dope show.
Yeah, but that's one.
Yeah, that's one that I can think of off the top of my head.
You know what I'm saying? Back then, you had Different Stroke, Different World.
Yeah, Different World.
Yeah, I'll tell you about... That's how I learned about black colleges.
Yeah, that was teaching people about...
I never knew about black colleges until then.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
And now, I don't think there is. Well, there's a Grownish, which is a spinoff of Blackish. Yeah, she in college.
Okay, so you know, I knew about him and I now be looking at TV like, wow, we got black colleges. You know, so
now we got Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah, and then Tyler Perry bringing in all type of. I mean, just we got black directors, and I don't think they focusing on.
It's black trauma.
Black drama. Either your baby daddy sleeping with your sister.
You getting abused.
You found out your husband messing with another man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So like everything messy. You all in the strip clubs, and so what kind of positive look exactly what we made.
Yeah. But we tuning into it though.
You know what? I mean, I can tell you, put it this way. People who got sense, like my wife can tell you, I don't watch it. I really don't like her watching it.
I used to watch all that shit heavy, and then something happened. I looked at it, I was like, in real life, if me and you homeboys and you don't rock with, I'm just making up a name, Fred, but I keep inviting Fred to come hang out with me and you don't fool with him. Yeah. That don't happen in real life.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just messy, man. Like, we into like, if it ain't messy, we don't like it.
But it's like a car crash. We got to look.
Yeah, but you can look, but you also can turn your head. Because I know if it crash too bad, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I'm gonna turn my head. So yeah, so like that that you have to think about them things. Also, you know, like you have to feed out other folks' culture. Like I had to learn that, like you got to pick stuff from white culture and Asian culture and Latino culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, because that's how you really gonna understand what's going on. Like they pick from our culture, but people always talk about like, oh, they take from us, they take from us. They really don't take nothing from us. They just entertainment you got. We look at entertainment as white people, Asian people, Latino people look at entertainment as entertainment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We look at, they not God, they entertainment.
And they not applying it to their in-home.
They don't apply it to their home, man.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why you still got a whole bunch of them want to be doctors and a whole bunch of them want to be lawyers and this and the other, because they don't care about that. I think somebody got mad when they had the Black Lives Matter thing going on. And I think one of the basketball players would talk about this. It might have been LeBron. They told LeBron to shut up and dribble. Yeah. Black people got mad. Oh, yeah, you gonna do this, but they let you know how much they think on. You think of athletes like that. Yeah. They think of athletes. You're a basketball player.
Yeah, you're entertaining me.
You're entertaining me. That's all you are.
Yeah.
And we got to start getting that mind frame.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah. I mean, we all can't be rappers. Like why? Like even and what made me so mad was Vice President Harris at these different rallies. Like you had Beyonce and Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and all these.
Yeah,
and look, them people that you had, like them people that they had on stage, 80% to 90% of their fan base don't even vote. Like they can't tell you nothing about politics. They don't know nothing about those. You wasted money paying them up there to say whatever you want them to say. Yeah, you got a big old crowd, but it didn't bring no voters.
Because you didn't win.
Because the simple fact, who's already gonna vote for you was gonna vote for you anyway. Even Tyler Swift, I'm gonna tell you, this is a point I want to marry her. Tyler Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Yes, sir.
Joe Reed, the news lady on MSNBC. And everybody, when she adores Joe Biden or Joe Camilla, we got the Swifties, we got millions of followers, so they gonna vote.
I thought the Swifties were teenagers. They can't vote anyway.
Well, you still got 18, 19, 20, college students, you know what I'm saying? So, we got this, they gonna come. So our Fox News was talking to one of them, and they were like, we like Taylor Swift, with the Swifties, we like them, we like her, we love her. But she's just an entertainment. She don't goes on in our household. She's not gonna give me any kind of income to help me out or help me go through school.
See?
That's totally different from what we think.
It is. So are these some of the things that, and say the name of your nonprofit again so they get it done?
Wakeup.org.
Yes, sir. And so are these some of the things that you teach our young black men and women?
Yes, exactly. Like it's time to educate them in the right direction. You see, like, really get them. They not focused on reality. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Like yes, what you listening to, and don't get it twisted or don't get it wrong, because what they listen to is reality when you come to their neighborhood.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it is, but like my son and them and people that he know and the kids that they know. And it's crazy how they can listen to it, and I can tell the two different vibes. Like my son might can listen to Dirt, and they'll rap it, or his homeboys, what, and they be like, man, they crazy. I ain't gonna never do that.
Right? They're not soaking in trying to be that. Yeah.
You go to the hood, I can feel him. I feel that, yeah. And it was crazy about you got dudes my age, you 40, 44, 43 years old, and you still listening to 20-year-old rappers, and you feeling a 20-year-old rapper.
Yeah.
That's the problem on its own. Yeah. You listening to a 20-year-old rapper telling you what to do, or you acting like a 20-year-old rapper do. That's another thing that goes on in the black community. As black male, we don't grow up. You see, you can't have a young mindset. At some point in time, you got to grow up. If you 43, you got to add 43. You got to dress 43. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? If you 50, you got to add 50. You got to dress 50. You can't walk around with you 40 some years old. You walk around with skinny jeans on. I mean, you dress like a 19-year-old kid. Yeah. So, and I don't care how many kids you got, on your own, but look what your mindset at. You see what I'm saying? Like, the big thing, I hate Jay-Z ever said this, when he said, what, the new 30s is the 20s?
I think he said new 30th, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So now everybody, the new 40s, the new 30s, nah, 40.
So you're not saying act old, you're just saying let's mature our mindset.
Yeah, like if you're 40 years old, you're a 40-year-old man.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
I'm
saying?
definitely a 40-year-old man.
You shouldn't, me, myself, I shouldn't worry about what style my son is wearing. Me and my son shouldn't be dressed alike.
No, absolutely not.
You see what I'm saying? So I shouldn't have my pants slant halfway with tight jeans on.
Right.
That's not even my era.
It look crazy, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would look better if I had my pants slanging all the way down. That's my era.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Hard,
yeah, sagging hard with a big old white T-shirt on.
That's our era.
That's my era. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But see, you know, so you can tell, like, you look at these guys our age, a little younger than us, and they dress like an 18, 19, or 20-year-old kid. That's their era. So what your mind frame, and you still trying to worry about what their era is, so how you gonna teach them when you trying to be them?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
That's a game right there.
So how I'm gonna teach a young kid when I want to be a young kid? Or me and him can talk, and we can talk on the same level. Ain't nowhere in the world I can sit here and talk to a 20-year-old kid or a 21-year-old man, and we on the same education bow, on the same thinking. Nah, how's that?
I feel that there's times when I run into younger guys that's 20, and not saying I know everything, but there'll be times I find myself trying to give them game, and they kind of look at me crazy like, I ain't asked you for all that. But I'm like, well, I'm up now, so you know what I mean, why not pass along some
But
stuff?
see, that's why you gotta leave them alone. That's why you gotta go down to the younger generation so they'll listen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people this, and we lost the whole generation. This generation right here is lost. I mean, so what you got to pick up the younger generation. It's an epidemic. Like you had the crack epidemic. Mm-hmm. This right here is an epidemic. Mm-hmm. But now it ain't drugs, it's bullets.
Yeah, boy, they killing the hell out of each other. Boy.
You see what I'm saying? It's not drugs, it's bullets.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
It seems like it's envy though. Like, what's my man? I don't even know how to pronounce the name. XXXTentacion. Them young rappers getting killed out of like cats being jealous.
Yeah, but at the same time, look at the music that you
it brings
go.
It in, yeah.
If you portray yourself a gangster, then gangster stuff gonna happen to you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And now these days rappers, I don't know what this real rap about, and the drill rapping and the real rapping and all this type of stuff like that. That's one thing. And another thing I had to tell people, like, they be like, well, Tupac them did this and Tupac and did that and Biggie them did that. Well, they rapping about that, but one thing you don't understand, Tupac them rapping about what they seen.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Them gangsters that they talking about, them names they talking about, them real people who are in the penitentiary.
Yeah, they ain't just fabricating stuff.
Haitian Jack is a real person. You see what I'm saying? These people that they rapping about are real people.
Yeah.
Our generation wasn't no big drug kingpins. Crack era, the last real money, probably crack era, the last real money when you can have 15 dudes on the block. And now y'all can make $500, $600, $700, $800. They probably was 98, 99, 2000.
Yeah.
So I was about 21, 22, 23 years old back then.
Crack game over.
Yeah, that's over with.
Yeah.
So so nowadays you can't rap about us. So these kids actually are going up here killing each other and come back and rapping about it.
Yes, sir.
That's got to be one of the dumbest things ever.
It's the changing in the mindset, and I hate that we gotta cut short only because I gotta go to work. But we're gonna never do this again.
Okay, no problem.
So tell them the name of your nonprofit.
Wakeup.org. So y'all just listen to it, and if you see me come around, man, just let you know I'm trying to help the community out, man. And we're gonna be around the community. You're gonna see me on Facebook Live a lot more now.
Okay.
So I had stopped doing Facebook Live. I used to do it for like when I look up stuff like these drug laws and this and the other.
Trying to educate you.
Trying to educate them. So yeah, I'm back on that, man. I just had to sit back and really try to see what we needed to help the community out and then go forward. So yeah.
Okay, and what do you have coming up in the near future?
Matter of fact, I got and I want to shout out to Michael Sullivan.
Okay.
Black Man United organization. They're my brothers. They do the same thing. I'm part of that organization too. And I want to shout out to Max. Max trying to help me now really further this for just Greenville wide. We finna really, I want to go statewide and then countrywide. So right now, so that's what we doing now. March 15th, I'm scheduling a black man conference.
Oh, that's
so
fire, yeah.
So right now I'm trying to get, and I haven't reached out to a lot of people, but I'm trying to get the likes of like Wendell, Representative Wendell Johnson. I got his number, and different other people actually they want to help, literally, and people my age actually want to help. Let's sit down and let's talk about this. Not, what I'm saying, 'cause that's another thing about organizations around here. Everybody got a nonprofit, but how many nonprofits you see work together?
Yeah, that's what made me think like, are all of them nonprofits?
It ain't that. What the ego?
Ah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? You doing your thing. Cause I done reached out to, trust me, I done reached out to my wife. I done reached out to people like, look, I got this going on. I got this going. I got this going. I can't make it. This and the other. This, it's just different thing. But that's another thing too. Why we haven't made no progress? Cause you want to do your own thing. You doing your own thing. You doing your own thing. You doing your own thing. They ain't on unity. If it ain't on unity, if nonprofits can't come together and unify, how can you expect these young brothers and sisters to unify?
That's a powerful way to close it. So, do you take donations, fundraising?
Yeah, I take donations.
How do they do that?
Well, really, I have to do it online because I got to cash out. My wife do all that for me. She helped me out with that. Call me, man. I want to get my number out there too. 864-603-0177, man. If anybody really want to make a change in the community that's trying to get that way and don't know how to get that way or actually want to help, man, just come on. I want all the brothers and sisters, even sisters, I want all y'all who want to try the come on, man. Let's team up. If you got something going on, I'm more than willing to put your stuff out there. If I got something going on, I'm more than, you come over and help me. You got your own ideas. I'll come to you and I help you with your ideas. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So I'm asking anybody who just started. Really, I just want people who just started nonprofits. I mean, the older people who did it. I mean, if you want to welcome to help us out, you can help us out. If you don't want to, continue to do your thing, and you're doing a great job. So all the nonprofits in Greenville, or the Freedom Fighter, Tracy Fannin, and even Jack Logan with the Put Down the Guns and Bruce Wilson and all y'all, y'all doing a great job. However y'all doing it. But I'm just saying, if anybody that's got a new nonprofit who just starting out, who want to, come together, or the people that I name, if you want to come help out, you're more than welcome, because we really do need you because you've been doing it for a long time. But let's actually sit down and see what kind of change that we really could make, man.
Yes, sir. Give them your website one more time.
Wakeup.org.
And your phone number one more time.
864-603-0177.
I want to say thank you for giving me some of your time.
Okay.
And thank y'all who are watching and listening. We out.
We out.
Yes, sir.